great to see you this morning. Sorry, I'm suffering from a little coughing. Thank you for coming. And on this beautiful, glorious Canadian morning, where I hope that this sunshine is a symbol of the hope ahead, because I think there's a brighter future for Canada. If only we could bring home the government that we do and love, a government based on common sense that empowers our people to earn powerful paychecks that buy affordable food, gas, and homes in safe neighborhoods. A government that serves the people, not the other way around, in the freest country on earth, which restores the Canadian promise. And we all know the Canadian promise. I suspect everyone around this table at some point lived or aspired to the Canadian promise, that if you work hard, you can do anything. Anyone from anywhere can achieve anything. That was the promise that my school teacher parents taught me about when they adopted me from a 16-year-old single mom who had put me up for adoption. And it's the promise that brought my wife here as a refugee from Venezuela. 6 people in a 2-bedroom basement apartment in Montreal. Now her dad's a businessman. Her brothers are carpenter and soldier. Her sister's a nurse. The truth about Canada is it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters where you're going. It doesn't matter who you knew. It matters what you can do. But that promise is now broken after 9 years of the NDP Liberals. Everything costs more as inflationary deficits print $700 billion of new cash, bidding up goods faster than at any time in 40 years. Work doesn't pay. You make it, Trudeau takes it. Housing costs have more than doubled, rising the fastest in the G7. And now housing is about 25 to 45% more expensive in Canada than it is in the United States, even though they have 8 times the people to house on a smaller landmass, and they make much higher wages than our workers. Speaking of which, Canadian workers now make a third less than their American counterparts. Per capita GDP in the US is $65,000 USD. In Canada, it's $45,000 USD, again, in the same currency. Well, why is it that the American economy is 50% richer than the Canadian economy? We have more resources, a bigger land mass, 4 coasts. We should be far richer than the Americans. This is nonsense. This idea, this inferiority complex we have. Well, they're the big Americans. We can never be strong like them. Well, why is Singapore and Switzerland and Ireland, why are they richer than America? They can do it. You know, my grandfather on my mother's side came from Ireland about 65, 70 years ago. Why? Ireland was poor. You know, Ireland's per capita GDP is 70% higher than Canada's today, which shows you what happens when you cut taxes, red tape, and open up the economy to free enterprise. And in addition to the poverty and misery, we have crime, chaos, drugs, and disorder. Every day there's a new horror story of someone chopped to pieces by a machete. We drive past these homeless encampments where half-dead bodies lie contorted on the dirt, overdosing on drugs. 44,000 people have died of overdose. That's almost as many people as we lost in all of World War II, to put it into context. And catch and release criminal justice has caused chaos in our streets. Extortion. People, businessmen, getting letters that either they pay $1 million or their 3-year-old daughter is going to have a bullet fly through her window in the middle of the night in Canada. This is insane. Everything is broken after 9 years of the NDP Liberals. But the good news is life was not like this before Trudeau, and it won't be like this after he's gone. We're going to bring home the country that we knew and still love. And that's why I'm calling for a carbon tax election. And it will be a very stark choice. You have the NDP Liberals who propose a 61 cent a litre carbon tax, 4 times higher than it is today. That would cause a nuclear winter. Many of you represent and write for communities that are in trucking. How many of the trucks could keep running with a 61 cent a litre carbon tax? I think most of them would just be sold off to the Americans. They have no carbon tax. You're in a trucking business, you pay 0 carbon tax in America, 61 cents in Canada. That's a difference of 1/3. All the trucks are going to go down to the States. And then, who's going to deliver the goods to the grocery stores? What are all those truckers going to do for jobs? What about the medium-sized factories and warehouses that make machinery and devices that have to go on trucks to be transported to their clients? They're going to go out of business as well. It could be an economic depression like we've never seen if this radical plan goes ahead. But I will axe the tax. I will axe the carbon tax to bring down energy prices. We will cut income tax so hard work pays off and you bring home more of each dollar you earn. We will fix the budget to pay for it. We'll cap spending, cut waste and bureaucracy, slash outside consultants and foreign aid to bring our money home, bring our debt, inflation, and interest rates down. So people bring home more of each dollar they earn. But you need a home to bring it to. The problem we have now is that Canada has the fewest homes per capita of any country in the G7, even though we have by far the most land to build on. You have more people and more money bidding on a small number of houses. What's the solution? Build more homes. What's stopping us? Government bureaucracy. We have the second slowest building permits of any country in the OECD, the worst in the G7. 3 times longer to get a building permit in Canada compared to the US and UK. This adds hundreds of thousands of dollars of cost to every newly built home. And the number one cost for a new home today is not land, labor, or lumber, it's bureaucracy. In fact, more money goes to bureaucrats for a new home than goes to the carpenters, electricians, and plumbers who actually build it. My common sense plan will require municipalities free up permits and land and cut development taxes to build 15% more as a condition of getting their federal funds. Those that meet the target will get their money from the federal government. Those that beat the target will get a bonus, but those that don't will lose their money. So the City Hall politicians and bureaucrats will have to get out of the way and build the homes unless they want to lose their cash. We'll sell off 6,000 federal buildings and thousands of acres of federal land to build, build, build. And we'll back the trades. We're going to get red seal trades material from the federal government to the provinces and schools so we can get more carpenters, electricians, mechanics, and other tradespeople. We want those trades workers to bring home their paychecks to safe neighborhoods. So we will stop the crime. We'll bring in jail and not bail for repeat violent offenders who will no longer be eligible for parole, probation, house arrest, or bail. They will stay behind bars when they're taken off the streets. We will ban hard drugs, shut down the drug dens. We will stop giving out taxpayer-funded opioids and instead put the money in treatment and recovery to bring our loved ones home drug-free. We'll secure the borders. 99% of shipping containers are uninspected today. That's where the stolen cars are going. High-powered scanners can look into those containers to intercept drugs, guns, and stolen cars. We will pay for it by canceling the gun grab. The government has spent $40 million in 4 years claiming that it's going to confiscate firearms from licensed owners. They haven't been able to get a single gun off the street with this program. And now even the supporters of banning guns admit that this gun purchase the government's going to do will just give money to gun owners to buy their existing guns so they can go out and buy other guns that are of a similar make and model and do exactly the same thing. What a colossal waste of money. Let's cancel that insanity and go after the criminals and gun smugglers. Let's bring home our freedom by repealing censorship laws, rebuilding our military, securing our borders, and upholding common sense immigration once again. Common sense is the key word. The common sense plan to axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. Axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. That's how we'll restore Canada's promise, where anyone from anywhere can do anything, where hard work earns a powerful paycheck that buys affordable food, gas, and homes in safe neighborhoods. Let's bring it home.
Bring this to the parliament when it is on, and because we are really feel not secure because of the.
Yeah, we've learned in the last 2 months that at least 2 alleged active ISIS members were given entry to Canada, where they plotted to carry out mass terrorist attacks against our people and against Jews in New York City. One of these individuals is alleged to have cut up a human body on a crucifix in Syria before, and this was videotaped, before he gained entry to our country. So somehow this video is circulating online and our immigration officials are not able to see it and deny the person entry. And were it not for a tip from the French government, we might not have been able to stop his planned attack in Toronto. Loved ones of people in this room, or maybe people in this room, might have been the victim of that terrorist attack had it gone ahead. And it wasn't because we found out about it that it was stopped. It was because the French, using their intelligence, learned of it and gave us a tip. So now we can't even protect our own country. We have to rely on foreign countries to give us information about what's happening on our soil. That is how insane this is. We need to screen newcomers to make sure that they are, as they have always been in Canada, law-abiding, safe, and respecting the rule of law. And we need to restore the controls in the immigration system to end the fraud and the rampant abuse that Justin Trudeau has unleashed. Before Trudeau, we had the best immigration system in the world. Countries all around the world said we need to do what Canada does. They bring in the best people, they get jobs, they're integrated, they get great education, they pay taxes, they build the country. People like my wife. And we were bringing people in at a very high rate, but at a rate that we could absorb into our housing market, our job market, and our healthcare system. But over particularly the last 3 years, it has been absolute chaos and mayhem. And we need to restore common sense, control, and compassion to our immigration system to bring home the best system in the world, and that's what I will do.
Thank you very much. Can you tell us when you are expecting the elections? And if it's an early election, you have not finalized the list of the candidates, when it will be finalized?
Well, I would like to see it happen by November, but the challenge is I don't set the parliamentary calendar. So the Prime Minister puts forward a calendar on which we are able to introduce a non-confidence motion. So we're calling on him to give us a motion as soon as possible so that I can trigger a carbon tax election. Canadians can't afford another year of this. It has been an absolute nightmare. They're being slaughtered in our streets by crime. Our young people are stuffed into their parents' basements because they can't afford homes. Food prices are rising so fast that 1 million Ontarians are going to food banks. This cannot go on. We need a carbon tax election now to elect a new common sense conservative government that will bring home the country that we knew and still love. Thank you.
And what about the list of the candidates?
We're working on it now. We have a lot of our candidates are nominated, including here in Brampton. We have Bob Desange, for example, has been nominated, and there will be other great common sense conservative candidates that come from small business, from the shop floor of our factories, from other walks of life that will stand up on behalf of the people and bring home common sense. Thank you.
Housing cost we already mentioned. But my question is more than that in terms of the crime. When we talk about the crime and making amendments of the criminal code, we feel in the media, we feel that we are a roller coaster, the Canadians are roller coaster. We put a question to the Justice Minister, to the President of the Treasury Board, the federal government, like why you are not making changes in the criminal code when crime is so high. Their answer is, like, the changes or amendments are already being made, the laws are in place, it's up to the provincial government or they act and hire the judges. Then we reach out to the provincial government, they say federal governments need to step up. These changes are not good enough. Same is the version from the police chief, same is the version of the field region chair, Mr. Nando.
This means that people who've committed 70 or 80 offenses can be released on bail within minutes of their latest arrest to reoffend, sometimes to be arrested 3 or 4 times in one day. In Vancouver, they had the same 40 offenders were arrested 6,000 times. In Penticton, there's one guy who does so much crime that when he's released from prison, the crime rate for the entire city goes up. One guy. You know, it seems pretty obvious what the solution is here. Let's pass a law saying that rampant career criminals are ineligible for bail, parole, probation, or house arrest. You get arrested, and you are a rampant criminal, you have a long rap sheet, you stay behind bars. There's no early release. You stay behind bars through your trial and to the end of your sentence. Bail was meant for people who've never committed a crime before and are newly accused and they've never been convicted. It wasn't meant for people who have 60 prior convictions to then be released again to continue committing offenses. So I will repeal C5, the house arrest law, C75, the bail law, and C83, the prison reform law that allows Paul Bernardo out of maximum security into a medium penitentiary. And in so doing, I will bring home safe streets for our people once again. Thank you.
Number one, brought to me by here, conservative Hindu supporter. The person says it, not one person, some people. They said they are getting targeted by liberal, and the person mentioned, maybe that person's name will be that we are, that, and the word was used, Khalistani. That conservative supporters,
yes,
who they happen to be Hindu, they are saying that we are getting targeted at workplace.
Really?
Workplace.
By who?
That liberal and Khalistani. That's the word was used. I said, I was astonished. I said, how it can happen in Canada that you can be targeted and leave Canada or leave workplace. But the point makes sense here when, I will mention the name Gurpatwant Pannu, who is Canadian citizen as well as US citizen as well. And he mentions very clearly, even in your parliament, in our parliament over there, that you Hindu, you go out. And such a, people, I'll mention the name Liberal MP Chandra Arya. And he has he said whatever he said. But such things people say and get away, and the masses feel the fear. A lot of people I know that they are planning, they are Canadian citizens, planning to leave Canada, go somewhere else, feeling in fear. The another important thing I want to, because I want you to address is this, the justice system. I will say, use myself in that way. Example, my son's case was highlighted all over Canada. Justice delayed, justice delayed. I feel the justice system is so broken to the extent that where there is no hope. My son's case was a mental health case. I feel that if being in media, knocking the door of justice system for 8 years or more period of time, and I'll just mention this particular thing to you on a record, where it was told that because of the COVID-19, criminal cases are so pending that the death in the hospital, such cases cannot go to trial. Simple as that. You're shut down, you go take the compensation, do whatever you want to do. So, 2 points. What do you want to say?
Targeting Hindus is totally unacceptable. The vandalization and the hate crimes that have gone after Hindus is absolutely unacceptable. And the Hindus have the right to worship, to raise their families, to live in peace without intimidation or threat. And common sense conservatives will stand up for the rights of Hindus to live freely in this country like everyone else. Anti-Hindu and Hindu-phobia agendas have no place. And I detest how the Prime Minister has divided our people. You know, we were getting along in this country. Now look at how everybody's fighting. Everybody's fighting. All the groups that used to get along are now divided more than ever. We need to bring people together around our common Canadian values of faith, family, and freedom, hard work and patriotism. One flag, one people, we are all united. And as for our criminal justice system, the reason why the courts are so jammed up is because the same criminals are coming back and back again and again and again. By my policy of jail not bail will mean fewer crimes and therefore fewer justices that are required to oversee the justice system. Or I should say this, we would be able to get rid of the congestion in our criminal justice system by just keeping the criminal in jail. You know, the guy doesn't get out, he can't reoffend. He doesn't reoffend, he doesn't have to go back to court. So let's just lock up the criminals for good and relieve the congestion on our overburdened judicial system. Thank you.
Manuel Alexa. Good morning, Mr. Pierre Poilievre. The future of Canada, the future Prime Minister of Canada. Could we all give him a nice round? Yeah, my question, I have a couple of, more than a couple of questions, but let's stick with those two. First of all, the capital gains. I'd like to have your comment about capital gains. And second, if you could talk about the refugees and the asylum seekers that cost Canadians almost $1 billion annually.
The capital gains tax increase up to 66% is a disaster for Canada. You know, for the first 14 years of this century, Canada was winning the tug of war for capital with the Americans. There was 30 to 100 billion more American money invested in Canada than Canadian money invested in the United States. That was a good thing. But in the last 9 years, the money has gone in the other direction. Now there's $450 billion more Canadian invested in the States than there is American invested in Canada. $450 billion is, and that's in American money, so it's like $600, $700 billion Canadian, the equivalent of a third of our economy. Why? Because people who invest in their RSP and their pension funds realize they're getting a better return in the States. You get a fast permit, you get low taxes, you get an open economy. Here, what do you get? You're strangled by red tape. You want to invest in a mine? It takes 19 years to get it approved. And let's say you make a profit. Well, now there's a 66% capital gains tax. And not only that, you then pay high income taxes. So our money is leaving the country. I voted against the capital gains tax hike, and I will pass a bring it home tax cut, which will lower taxes on work, investment, and making stuff in Canada. The goal is to bring home powerful paychecks and production to Canada so people can afford good food and a decent home in safe neighborhoods. Thank you very much.
About motion M44, which was passed in the House of Commons in May 2022. asking the government to create permanent residency pathways for all skill levels for temporary students, temporary foreign workers, including international students. Now, as I see it, this was a complete 180-degree turn from the long-standing immigration approach of attracting highly skilled immigrants. And after that, we have seen the numbers of temporary foreign workers and international students explode. At one point, they were issuing one study permit every 10.5 seconds. And whatever the expectation was behind this approach, things haven't worked out well. In fact, we have seen disaster on all fronts. So, my question is this. As Prime Minister, will you bring the focus of our immigration policy back to highly skilled immigrants? Thank you.
Yes, I will. I should say, I don't want to, we shouldn't blame the individual students and temporary foreign workers. They're actually very good, hardworking people, and they just want the same chance that we had and that our parents and our grandparents had. When I meet these kids, and they're working nonstop. You know, I show up at a hotel in Sault Ste. Marie at 11 p.m. for the next part of my tour, and I see a young person from India who's there delivering Uber Eats at 11 o'clock at night, and you know they have to be up the next morning to go to school. These are very good, hardworking, decent people. But the system is totally out of control, and so when they arrive, they don't realize they're not going to have a home. There's no homes for people in Canada. They might not have a job. Our unemployment rate is up a full percentage point now over the last year, and we're adding 1 million people to our workforce every year, while we're only adding about 150,000 jobs. And then they're being swindled by consultants who sign them up for fake universities and colleges. So we have to end all of this insanity and fraud and get back to the common sense system. That yes, invited workers to fill genuine vacancies that Canadians could not fill. That it brought in students to actually learn skills, and if they succeeded and learned English or French, could stay here and build a life. And finally, we have to get a blue seal licensing standards so that immigrant professionals can prove they are qualified quickly and get to work in their licensed profession. We did this in the trades back in 1952, 72 years ago. Why don't we do it in the professions? You can get those 20,000 immigrant doctors, 32,000 immigrant nurses working to relieve the pressure on our healthcare system. You agree with that idea? Okay, good, thank you.
Question is for Carriere Canadese.
Yes,
Right over here.
yes, sir.
You mentioned that we need to bring in more immigrants, or that we need more laborers, right, to build more houses and stuff. In Toronto, we have a lot of undocumented or workers that came here on work permits and find themselves undocumented, who have paid taxes, have built families and set roots in Canada, find a way to stay. They keep finding red tape. But if they're in such high demand, what would you do to maybe create projects that would let in more of these workers and let them stay and continue building roots in Canada?
Look, we have an enormous number of temporary immigrants, I think a record number right now, both through the international and temporary foreign worker program. Some people say, would you expel them all when their permits end up, or would you keep them all? Look, I don't think we can, I don't think either of those options make sense. There are many of them who came here and followed all the rules and are contributing and paying taxes. They've learned English or French. They're employed in a job that a Canadian cannot fill. Maybe they've earned a master's degree in IT, and they're able to earn a $250,000 a year building our economy. Or maybe they're a master carpenter building homes. Picking someone out like that, I don't think does any good for our country. On the other hand, if you have people who lied, defrauded the system, broken laws, then they would need to be deported. So I think we need to put in place a plan to clean up this incredible mess that Trudeau and the NDP have made with our immigration system, where you have, I think it's 1 million temporary, somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 million temporary immigrants here. Some of them should be, some of them should not be, but the principle should be that if you follow the rules, you're contributing, paying taxes, following the law, learning one of our official languages, and you're needed in our labor market, then you can stay. And if you're breaking laws, breaking rules, defrauding the system, then you have to go. I think that's the dividing line that should determine who gets to stay when their work permit is done and who must leave. Thank you. Do you agree with that? Like the Portuguese, the incredible Portuguese people came here, and the Italians came here and built so much of our country. You know, they were great people, and now we have people from other regions of the world who are coming and building our country. And those that are following the rules, they should get a chance to be part of the Canadian family.
Some of the great points.
Hospital, a lot of people are facing problems regarding their healthcare. So what is your opinion? Like people go to hospital and they have to wait long in emergency also. So what is your opinion for that?
I'm in favor of it. I hope that it happens. You know, the federal government, under the previous Conservatives, gave 6% increases to healthcare every year. While we were able to balance the budget by cutting bureaucracy and waste and by growing the economy, we did spend 6% more every year on healthcare. And then my common sense plan to make doctors and nurses available, as I said, is to bring in a Blue Seal licensing standard that will allow our immigrant healthcare professionals to take a test, prove they're qualified, and quickly get to work. Because obviously Brampton needs a new hospital. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everybody.
All right.
Attending.
Thank you.
We'll check it out.
अगर आपको दुबई या मिडल ईस्ट नुमा जेवरात की तलाश है तो आपको दूर जाने की बिल्कुल जरूरत नहीं। आज ही हमारे मिसिसागा रिजवे स्टोर तशरीफ लाइए। अल करम ज्वेलर्स। हमारे पास सोने के बेहतरीन कंगन, कड़े, झुमके, हार और सोने के सेट्स भी दस्तयाब हैं। शादी हो या मेहंदी या कोई भी फंक्शन, आपकी पसंद के तमाम जेवरात आपको हमारे स्टोर में मौजूद मिलेंगे। आज ही हमारे स्टोर पर तशरीफ लाइए। अल करम ज्वेलर्स, 3465 प्लैटिनम ड्राइव, यूनिट 99, मिसिसागा। या फिर कॉल करें 905-828-0009। अल करम ज्वेलर्स, फरमाइश आपकी, गारंटी हमारी।
राहत बेकर्स एंड स्वीट्स 60 साल से आपके हंसी लम्हों में शामिल, खुशियों से भरे मीठे जायके, नफासत और क्वालिटी में सबसे बेहतर, खालिस अज्जा से तैयार करदा मिठाई, केक्स, बिस्किट्स एंड स्नैक्स, वही ऑथेंटिक जायका और क्वालिटी। पाकिस्तान से अब आपके शहर मिसिसागा में, कुछ मीठा कुछ नमकीन। राहत बेकर्स, आज ही विजिट कीजिए 3920 एग्लिंटन एवेन्यू वेस्ट, यूनिट 24, मिसिसागा। Call 905-820-1500 or visit rahatbakers.ca.
Welcome to Pan Am Blinds Limited. My name is Bobby, and I would like to introduce our very newest product. It is only with us with Pan Am Blinds in Improve. You can save your 85% energy. Please come to our store and see how many beautiful colors we do have and enjoy your comfort of life.
Attention business owners and corporate professionals. Tired of taxes chipping away at your company's profit? Take control of your financial future with our revolutionary corporate insurance strategy that works like tax-free saving account with no limits. Say goodbye to over 50% tax on passive income and a hefty 66.7% capital gain inclusion rates. Don't let the taxman hold you back. Unlock the full potential of your corporate investments with the full liquidity today. Hello, this is Zahid Sayyeda Farouj Financial Group. To learn more, call us at 905-624-0008.
You know, we were always trying how to get a house. Remember the Royal Financial Group flyer you gave me for the mortgage?
Oh yes, Shiraz Hussain, who did our mortgage too.
Yes, I actually went to their office. The staff was so professional. They're expert in their services. And you know what Shiraz said?
We have more than 100 lenders to help you to find our right qualified lenders and program for your purchase, refinancing, any of your commercial needs. At the Royal Financial Group, we deliver what we promise.
Royal Financial Group. Never put a limit on your dreams.
A criminal charge can be an ugly and nasty surprise. Don't let bad decisions or unfortunate circumstances take control of your life. The criminal lawyers at Alam Law Chambers will listen to your story and develop the best defense for you. Nothing in life is more important than your freedom. Reliable and affordable. Alam Law.
रोशन मुस्तकबिल और अपनों का साथ जन्नत से कम नहीं। आप भी कनाडा को अपना घर बना सकते हैं और अपनों को पास बुला सकते हैं। एक्सपीरियंस्ड एंड रेगुलेटेड इमिग्रेशन कंसल्टेंट शहबाज अकबर के साथ मास्टर ऑफ बिजनेस क्लास इमिग्रेशन, एक्सप्रेस एंट्री, स्किल क्लास इमिग्रेशन, रेफ्यूजी क्लेम्स एंड फैमिली स्पॉन्सरशिप्स। कॉल नाउ एट 416-855-9464. Green Star Immigration Solutions Canada.
Managing your own business can be a lot of work. A professional accountant always makes a difference. It's imperative that your accountant keeps your finances simple, accurate, and confidential. Audited? Need help? That's why we chose Scans Accountants. They make you feel at ease knowing you and your business are in good hands. Scans Accountants, team of professionals.
Moshe and Shiraz Hussain, in association with The Legal Connection and Watan Kebab, proudly present Sajjad Ali, performing on October 26th at the Meeting House, Oakville.
Hey, Cinderella, Cinderella, mera intezar karna.
Tickets available on Eventbrite, powered by Big Pickering. For sponsorship and VVIP tickets, contact Moshe Shiraz Hussain.
If you are looking for a reliable, professional, and affordable travel agency in your town, then your search is over. Global Travel and Tours is your personal travel partner. Our dedicated staff, always ready to make your trip hassle-free, memorable, and cost-effective. We will assist you with hotel reservations, the transportation, visa assistance, and travel insurance. Please give us a call right now at 1-877-275-3555.
Thinking of buying, selling, or investing in real estate? Whether it be residential, commercial, or pre-construction, Arshad Bhatti and his team of professionals can help. We have guaranteed allocations in high-rise and low-rise pre-construction projects in and around the GTA. Call Arshad Bhatti at 416-300-5600. That's 416-300-5600 or register at arshadbhatti.com.
Are you planning on buying, selling, or investing in real estate and looking for a reliable real estate broker? Then look no further. Call Noma today. List your home and start packing. Honest, reliable, and a top negotiator. Give your attention to Noma. Over 10 years of Canadian real estate market experience. Invest in new construction projects with day one price. Call Noma Bobber today at 647-962-0007.
अपने प्यारों को बुलाइए कनाडा में बसाइए with ICC इमिग्रेशन मुस्तकबिल संवारे आसानी के साथ ICC के साथ
ICC इमिग्रेशन की RD, MD और उनकी प्रोफेशनल टीम हेड ऑफिस मिसिसागा से आपको सर्व कर रही हैं। बिजनेस वीजा, स्टूडेंट वीजा, वर्क परमिट, स्पॉन्सरशिप या किसी भी अप्रूव कैटेगरी में आप अपने प्यारों को कनाडा बुलाना चाहते हैं तो अभी कॉल कर लें 905-461-2424।
ICC Immigration.
Team Farhan, Mortgage Solutions designed for you. 15-year experience of mortgage services. Customized mortgage solutions as per your need. Commercial, residential, construction and agricultural mortgage. Our lowest mortgage rate.
Team Farhan को एक दफा खिदमत का जरूर मौका दीजिएगा. And this is my personal promise to you, you will not be disappointed.
At Team Farhan, we have a mortgage solution designed for you. 416-569-9294. TeamFarhan.com.
Dixie Electronics and Appliances is your #1 destination for electronics and appliances. Choose from TVs and home audio that will entertain your whole family, to home comfort essentials for your living space and a wide selection of appliances to build your perfect kitchen. From selection to delivery, Dixie Electronics is everything you need. Price match guarantee and 0% financing available, all under one roof. Come today at 5120 Dixie Road, Mississauga, or visit the website at dixieelectronics.ca.
राह बेकर्स एंड स्वीट्स 60 साल से आपके हसीन लम्हों में शामिल खुशियों से भरे मीठे जायके, नफासत और क्वालिटी में सबसे बेहतर खालिस अज्जा से तैयार करदा मिठाई, केक्स, बिस्किट्स एंड स्नैक्स। वही ऑथेंटिक जायका और क्वालिटी पाकिस्तान से अब आपके शहर मिसिसागा में। कुछ मीठा, कुछ नमकीन। राहत बेकर्स, आज ही विजिट कीजिए 3920 एग्लिंटन एवेन्यू वेस्ट, यूनिट 24, मिसिसागा। कॉल 905-820-1500 or visit rahatbakers.ca.
Did you know that staging your home can result in more than 7% return over the list price? Welcome to Sperona's Home Staging and Interior Design, where we transform your houses into dream homes. Our experts meticulously select each element to bring spaces to life, helping buyers envision their future and creating that emotional connection. We have our own transportation and logistical arrangements. No waiting on outside vendors. We ensure a quick turnaround to complete any project efficiently. Let us bring your space to life and help you achieve top dollars for your home. Because it's not just about selling a property, it's about creating a future.
घर में सबकी हेल्थी लाइफ के लिए ग्रीनिश नेचुरल हेल्थ, ग्रैंडपा, हस्बैंड, किड्स और वाइफ के लिए ग्रीनिश नेचुरल हेल्थ। एक टैब दे इन्हें दिन भर की एनर्जी और पूरा दिन रखे इनको एक्टिव नेचुरली। ग्रीनिश नेचुरल हेल्थ, हेल्थी लिविंग फॉर द होल फैमिली।
मज़ीद मालूमात के लिए विजिट करें अपनी करीबी फार्मेसी या हमारी वेबसाइट www.greenish.com।
राहत बेकर्स एंड स्वीट्स 60 साल से आपके हसीन लम्हों में शामिल खुशियों से भरे मीठे जायके, नफासत और क्वालिटी में सबसे बेहतर खालिस अज्जा से तैयार करदा मिठाई, केक्स, बिस्किट्स एंड स्नैक्स। वही ऑथेंटिक जायका और क्वालिटी पाकिस्तान से अब आपके शहर मिसिसागा में। कुछ मीठा, कुछ नमकीन। राहत बेकर्स, आज ही विजिट कीजिए 3920 एग्लिंटन एवेन्यू वेस्ट, यूनिट 24,